Hey peeps, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over one of the most basic things, something that gets overlooked a lot, but something's probably one of the most important parts of your vehicle. We're going to look at your battery. Actually, what we have right now, not so much a battery out of the Jeep. This battery is out of my son's truck. Yes, my 11-year-old has a truck that I gave him. We're working on, he's working on to put that back on the road. Right now, the battery's been sitting for quite a while. It's got some corrosion. We're going to show you the proper way of cleaning it and taking care of it. So let's turn it over to Troy here, and we'll show you what we're working with. So what we have here, this is Troy's battery. This is actually out of a Chevy Silverado. What we're going to do is we're going to be showing you the use of a lot of these battery tools. From the proper GM battery pulling tool here for most side post batteries to, it's better off if you use a proper size socket and wrenches to take it off. But if you don't, if it's stripped like most batteries do, because they're, usually soft aluminum terminals, you got your battery terminal pliers. We got battery terminal pullers, and we got an assortment of battery terminal cleaners and cleaning solutions and corrosion inhibitors to spray back on it before you put the terminal back in. So we'll start with this. Troy is going to show you, basically get him grab one of these battery terminal cleaners, and we're going to get to cleaning. So what we're going to do first is we're going to need to take that paper towel, a rag, whatever you have. Always see how he's wearing gloves. Always make sure you got gloves on, because this corrosion's still acid and it can still burn you. So what we're going to do, we're going to take and we're going to clean off all that white. That's corrosion. We're going to wipe that down. We're going to give it a good wipe, get it off the battery, make sure it's away from off the plastic around the terminal. Not just the terminal itself. We got to make sure we wipe the battery off. Yeah, there we go. And then what we can do, we wipe down the other side around there, get all the dust and dirt off of it, off the negative side. You don't get too much corrosion off the negative side, on the negative side as you do on the positive side. Some of these burnt batteries, you can pop these little pieces off right here. They, then check the water level on it. This one's not a serviceable battery, but you can still do it if you wanted to. We know that the battery still will hold a charge. It's just been so long since it's been charged. We're going to take it out and we're going to give it a good deep charge on the charger. So now the next thing we're going to do is he's going to take these battery terminal cleaners, and it's a preference. This one's a real good one because it's got instead of having a wire brush, it's actually got a metal edge that shaves the terminal down. The problem with that is you do end up losing a little bit of a little bit of the lead off of the battery terminal. Makes it slightly smaller than it was, but it's not enough to make a difference. So what he's going to do,
they have a positive and negative sign on them,
so
you know
what he's going to do is he's going to go here and he's going to put that down there, and he's going to push down and give it a good twist. And we're going to clean one terminal with this. And we're going to take the old-fashioned wire brush one and clean a terminal with that, and then we're going to see the difference in the cleaning. Now, as he's doing that, also, when you're taking these batteries off, you do know there's really a procedure taking a battery off, and that's always disconnect your negative first, get that out of the way, then disconnect your positive. That way, it's a less chance of a spark, and especially on these newer vehicles, because if there's a spark or surge through the electric system, you could actually cause damage to the ECMs, and then it doesn't matter how good your battery is, your car is not going to start because the ECM has been damaged. So now we spun it down one way, we're going to start spinning it backwards and lift it right back off the top of the battery. And once we get it up, pull up on it as you spin it, it'll come right back up off the battery terminal. And there's your clean terminal, nice and shiny.
Wipe that down, get all the metal off.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the other style, the brush style. We're going to do the negative side with the brush style. It's a different tool, different preferences. You don't have to take that metal cap off to do that. That's just for cleaning inside the terminal. So give that a good wind with the brushes. The good part about that is you don't lose a whole lot of material when you use the wire brush. The bad part is you actually don't get it as clean, and you know, any pitting and stuff you don't get out of the terminal. But you still be able to make a decent connection as long as you have clean. So we'll pull that up now and we'll see the difference between the two.
It's actually pretty good.
So here's the negative terminal that he did with the wire brush. Here is the positive terminal that he did with the metal shaver. You can see the difference in the two. Now, there's also some other things that this tool has, and here is the, you can put that in there, and what happens, especially on these batteries, these GMs, which, like I said, this came out of a Chevy Z71, you can take that and you can chase and clean out them threads in there. Just hold it straight up and down, thread it in until it gets tight, and then thread it right back out, and it'll chase the threads down. And then on the opposite end is this piece right here is to clean inside of your terminals. So let me go over here. I got actually a terminal sitting there. I can show you how these pieces are used, how that's used on that. Sorry about the mess. It's fall. Been a long season. A lot of work's been getting done on some vehicles, and I just haven't had a chance to clean up my shop here. Alright, sorry about that. We had to pause the video for a minute. So here's a regular, you know, your basic battery terminal. So this piece right here, Troy's going to show you how this piece, and then we're going to do the same thing with the wire brush, what you do with that. So
you see how it has ruts one way? You're going to have to spin with, well, against that. Like so.
Alright, so now we'll show you the same thing, but we're going to show you, there's another one, you know, again, it's just a separate tool. We'll clean the same one, but we'll do it from the opposite side with the wire brush one.
And that's that.
That's another end of that other battery terminal cleaner tool we showed you. So basically that's going to be about as close to our Jeep style. Actually, the older Jeeps will have that style. You know, our Jeep style terminals are the same. This is on the newer. I mean, I got a few little add-ons to mine just because I had some electronic accessories, which right now are unplugged because I'm doing some work to the Jeep. But you know, the terminals are basically the same as what he just had in his hand. Unlike the GM, which has the side terminal. And actually, some of the older Jeeps may even, you know, some people have changed them over. Some people second batteries if they want to run a winch off of it. And also things like winches and whatnot, it doesn't help to add in some battery protection. Like me, I put a circuit breaker in for running my winch so I don't drain my battery. I don't, you know, overheat my battery for that. So now that he has the terminals clean, what we're going to do is we're going to spray it with some of this battery terminal cleaner just to make sure we got all of the corrosion off of them.
And keep in mind, we're gonna need gloves, especially
all this battery stuff. Like I said, always, you know, you should always wear gloves for this battery stuff and eye protection. And we're just gonna spray it right onto the terminals. Just give it a good shot across there, yeah, and then do the second one. And what's going to happen is that stuff goes on one color, and although we've already cleaned the battery, so there's not a whole lot of corrosion, it'll start to turn red as it picks up corrosion and cleans the corrosion off the battery.
This one you can see is already starting to do that one.
Then once we do that and wipe that down, we'll put the battery on the charger, and then before we put the battery back in the vehicle, I like to use a little bit of this. It's just corrosion inhibitor. That way, once your battery's back in there, your terminals are connected, give that a spray with that. It just protects it a little bit to keep the corrosion out of there, keep your contact a little bit better. So we're gonna actually speed up this process, Troy's going to go ahead and wipe off the battery terminal cleaner.
Oh wow, there's a lot of red right there.
Yeah, we're going to wipe it. We're going to make sure, because this next step, we got to make sure the battery terminal clean is dry. You know, wipe down and then completely dry on both sides. Then we're going to hook up our battery charger, and we're going to put it on a 2-hour charge. And
I'll give it a pretty deep cycle.
It'll bring this battery right back to life. Again, I've already tested the battery. The battery's still good. It's just, unfortunately, it's been sitting in the vehicle. The vehicle's been sitting parked all summer. We've been doing some stuff over the summer where we just beach time and just summer activities. So now we got to get back to getting that ready, because he wants to be able to have his truck when he turns 16. So we've got probably one of the older battery chargers you've ever seen. I bought this thing 20 years ago and it still works, so why change? What we're going to do is we're going to show you, we're going to hook up the negative or the positive cable first. You know, red goes to positive.
Yep.
This battery's pretty easy because it's got a plus and a minus.
Plus batteries.
So you're going, red goes to positive, black goes to negative. Can't say red goes to red, black goes to black, because sometimes batteries just have 2 black cables coming off of it. People have changed wires, they've corroded in older vehicles, and they just threw 2 black cables on. And once we're plugged there, we're hooked up there. Then we're going to plug it in after we've hooked everything up, just in case. Now we come over here, you check your settings, and last time this charger was used, it was actually used to jump start something, so we had to turn it all the way up to boost. What we're going to do now is turn it down to 12 volt low.
Oh, 12 volt low, I thought.
And then we're going over here is your timer. You set your timer to this. Yep, 120 now to 120 minutes. That's 2 hours, which is your max timer on this. And let it charge. And put it back in the vehicle, and it will fire the vehicle right up. Well, it won't, because that's just the way things work. But again, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. If you like it, hit that subscribe button, and have a good day or night, whatever it is, wherever you are.